It's time for the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report on the Rural Radio Network. I'm your host, Clay Patton. Thanks so much for coming back and joining us here again this week. We've got a full breakdown of our typical report. Thank you for listening last week as well, with Randy Sainer joining the conversation, talking about the 4S Goat Expo that happened this last weekend at North Platte, Nebraska. So again, let's go ahead and get right into it, dive into what's happening here in the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. And for all intents and purposes, basically call the market steady, albeit there was some $10 to $15 hundredweight lower undertones, especially when you look at those traditional slaughter weight lambs and goats. The lighter weight slaughter lambs and heavier goat wethers, though, were by far the most popular classes of livestock this week. We'll be talking about those highlighted quotes here in just a moment, but those big heavy goat wethers, 90, 100 plus pounds, they brought some money this week. So stay tuned for us as we look at that. I think this was an ethnic market push here as we start into the late summer, early fall months as well. We've got Prophet's birthday, September 26th through the 27th this upcoming week. Unfortunately, though, those lower undertones may indicate that after the ethnic market push here in the near term, we may see a little bit of a fall slump here before we start getting back into that Thanksgiving and Christmas time market here over the next 30 to 45 days. And of course, time will be our biggest one there. When you look at volume, number of head that are coming into the market seems to be fairly strong, but very in pace and very timely with last year's volume and number of head coming to the market as well. Live lamb and carcass weights are continuing to suggest we're staying very current in the market. Now, the surge in the U.S. dollar here recently has definitely taken its toll on U.S. exports, but protein exports have held up somewhat decently. USDA data this week showed that beef exports were up 15% on the 4-week average, and pork exports were up 31% week over week. USDA will release its next round of monthly meat export data that should include some lamb exports for the first week of October. As well, we're going to start taking a more detailed look at maybe some of this third quarter, really first through third quarter as well, lamb import data to see as well if a stronger dollar is actually bringing in cheaper product here in the U.S. It could be hurting some of our domestic prices. Now let's go ahead and take a rundown of those highlighted quotes. We'll start here in Colby, Kansas at Colby Livestock. 43 head of 70-pound boar cross slaughter goats brought $220 a hundredweight. That's $154 a head. Colby also sold 16 head of 64-pound hair lambs for $185 a hundredweight. That's $118 a head. Centennial Livestock in Colorado sold 57 head of 114-pound wool slaughter lambs for $193 a hundredweight, or $220 a head average. Upper end of that draft brought $222 and a half a hundredweight, or $253 a head. Now here's a set of the big wethers. Centennial Livestock in Colorado, 33 head, 107-pound goat wethers brought $302 a hundredweight. That's $324 a head on the average. Upper end of the draft brought $411 a hundredweight, $440 a head. Kelowna, Iowa sold 311 head of slaughter wool lambs weighing 125 pounds for $189 a hundredweight, or $237 a head. Upper end of the draft brought $197.50 a hundredweight, or $247 a head. Kelowna, Iowa also sold 64 head of goat wethers weighing 104 pounds. Again, 64 head of them, $341 a hundredweight, or $355 a head average. That is across the board. Now, Sioux Falls Regional Livestock, they had a big run on the slaughter lambs. 1,236 head of 136-pound slaughter lambs. Wool lambs brought $202 a hundredweight, $274 a head average. Upper end of this big draft, though, brought $210 a hundredweight, or $285 a head. Producers Livestock in San Angelo, Texas, sold 83 head of hair lambs weighing 53 pounds for $307 a hundredweight, $163 a head. Upper end of that draft brought $317 a hundredweight, or $168 a head. Producers also sold 431 head of 53-pound goats for $288 a hundredweight, $152 a head. Upper end of the draft bringing $306 a hundredweight, or $162 a head. Have not found a lot of great numbers on the breeding side of it, but producers did have a solid run. 59 head of running age, open 73-pound does, so these likely more maybe Spanish influenced or Kiko. They're on the smaller side to being 2 to 4 years old, but they weighed 73 pounds. They were open. They brought $277 a hundredweight, or $202 a head. Other markets important for livestock producers. Grain markets continue to slowly turn lower as demand continues to keep the bears in charge of the market. Good news is livestock feeders likely are going to be looking at opportunity to continue purchasing lower feed inputs. The hay market in Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, South Dakota, Colorado, and Wyoming split with low feed quality or grinding quality hay dropping in price, but that harder to find premium and dairy quality alfalfa continues to demand a premium. Wyoming and South Dakota are both reporting higher production tonnage than they had a year ago, but quality's mixed with more rain this year. That means that some of it did not get put up in the best conditions. Meanwhile, Nebraska saw a drop in hay prices in the Platte River Valley. But again, dairy quality alfalfa seems to be harder to find in general. Grass hay is really popular right now with weaning cattle coming into the feed yards and getting started on those light rations, so that caused a little bump there in grass hay prices. But hay reporters are noting that ranchers in many areas, though, are actually kind of playing the wait-and-see game. They're betting that hay prices will continue to soften through the rest of the year. On the week, premium alfalfa saw an average on most reports $200 to $250 a ton, albeit you look at Iowa, we saw instances of $300 to $345 a ton. That lower quality grinding alfalfa brought $150 to $185 a ton, again, depending on quality. Lamb slaughter for the week estimated 32,000 head through Saturday, down 3,000 from last week and last year. Year-to-date lamb slaughter 1.3 million. We're about 3% or 37,000 head of where we were last year. Live lamb weights were 117 pounds, up 1 pound from last week, but down 13 pounds from last year. Dressed lamb weights were 59 pounds. That was unchanged from last week and down 7 pounds from last year as well. Here's your breakdown in your regional price report. 20 to 40 pound wool lambs not available. 40 to 70 pound wool lambs 150 to 270 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up 146 to 275 a hundredweight. On the hair lambs 20 to 40 pounds 200 to 308 a hundredweight. 40 to 70 pounds 150 to 317 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up 150 to 270 a hundredweight. On the wool ewes, not enough for an applicable trend in the stocker ewes, but slaughter ewes 30 to 155 a hundredweight. Slaughter rams 55 to 180 a hundredweight. On the hair ewes, replacement quality not enough for a trade range, but slaughter hair ewes 40 to 165 a hundredweight. Hair rams $110 to $240 a hundredweight. On the kid goats, 20 to 40 pounds, 170 to 365 a hundredweight. 40 to 70 pounders, 170 to 306 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up, 170 to $300 a hundredweight. On the big withers, 70 pounds and up, 250 to 411 a hundredweight. Slaughter does medium to fleshy, 120 to $255 a head. Slaughter bucks, 65 to $240 a hundredweight. That is a look here at your Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. As always, we appreciate your listenership. Check it out more. Find the written version when you head on over to ruralradionetwork.com. This is the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report.